in the previous chapter. Reaching Dino, Mino says to him, "Come on, let's go to play." While the two friends are walking away, Mew turns back to sleep on the branch. Chapter 5. How did Mino and his family come to arrive at the Fineflower Castle? Dear listeners, I promised you in the first chapter that sooner or later I would tell you about how Mino and his family came to arrive at the Fineflower Castle, and how exactly the Count and the Countess Fineflower managed to employ the only existing ghosts in the world to scare the visitors of their castle. So here I am now. In this chapter, and in the following few chapters, I will tell you about all that. Part 1. A drop of water on a nose. One night, while Count Fineflower, the owner of the Fineflower Castle, together with his wife Countess Fineflower, was sleeping, a drop of water fell from the ceiling right upon his nose. "What? Can it really be possible that it is raining inside the room?" wondered the Count, waking up. And he went upstairs to check the attic to see where that drop of water was coming from. Once in the attic, he found out that the whole attic was entirely flooded, because a corner of the roof had collapsed, and the rain was entering the attic from that spot and was flooding the attic. The next morning, as soon as he got up, the Count called a renovation and repair company and asked them to give him an estimation of the costs of fixing the roof. They came, checked the roof, made a list of the things that needed to be done, and finally told the total cost of the necessary reparations to the Count. "To fix this roof," they said, "will cost you 1 quadrillion euros, more or less." The Count was very amazed to hear this huge amount of money, and exclaimed, all amazed, "All that money just to repair a roof? I don't have that much money." He then added, "Oh yes, of course," replied the head of the repairman. "The repair of the roof of a castle is a long and complex task. Just look how big this roof is. It is as big as the roof of 100 houses. And then you cannot expect us to use clay roof tiles for this roof. Yea, no. This is the roof of a castle. It must be repaired using slate stone, Italian slate, tons and tons of Italian slate, and then oak beams, strongest and the best quality oak beams, to be able to bear all the weight of the enormous roof made of slate. Oh yes, yes, it sure is an expensive job, this. If I may give you a piece of advice," he then added, "you'd better sell this castle and move to a normal house, because this castle is old. It is several centuries old. Today it is the roof, tomorrow maybe the windows, or the pipes, or who knows, maybe even a crack in the foundations. Well, what I'm trying to say is that with this castle being so old and all, there will constantly be all sorts of failures and breakages and repairs and renovations in the future. And whatever job has to be done in the castle, it will always cost you a fortune. Listen to me. Sell this castle and get rid of it." But the Count Fineflower is not the type of person to accept unwanted advice from strangers. He shooed rather hastily that gang of renovators from his castle, and he started, together with the Countess, to think up a way to find all that money required to fix the roof of their beloved castle. They didn't take into consideration, even for a split second, the idea of selling their castle. The castle would be repaired, whatever it would take. But where to find all that money? The Count and the Countess make a living by farming beautiful flowers in the big garden of their castle and by selling them. Their flowers, so beautiful, colorful and fragrant, are special and impossible to find anywhere else. Fineflower Castle's flowers are famous in the town and even in the nearby towns. In every season, but especially in spring, the castle's garden becomes a colorful explosion of fragrances, and people rush from everywhere to buy those wonderful flowers, to place them in vases in their homes or to plant them in their own gardens. But they aren't rich. It isn't possible to earn a quadrillion euros by farming and selling flowers, even if those flowers are beautiful and special. "We need to come up with an idea," said the Count to the Countess.
"Our castle is very ancient, and it is very charming, and it has a big and beautiful garden full of flowers of all kinds," said the Countess. "Let's open it up to tourists. Surely many people who are interested in medieval times history, in castles and in flowers will want to visit our castle and see with their own eyes what a medieval castle is like from inside. And also lots of schools surely will want to organize educational trips to our castle to show to their students what a real medieval castle looks like. So we will welcome them, guide them, and tell them the fascinating history of our castle. We can sell entrance tickets to the many visitors who will surely rush here to visit our castle, and in no time we can collect all the money necessary to repair the roof."
"Excellent idea," said the Count, and he kissed his wife and gave her a beautiful flower. The Count and the Countess are like that. They love each other very much, and every time they are happy, even for no reason, they kiss each other right away and give each other a flower, of which, for sure, there is no shortage of in their garden. So, here we are, dear listeners. The first part of chapter 5 ends here. I will continue to tell you the story of how Mino and his family arrived at the Fineflower Castle next week. If you like the stories of Mino, please subscribe to our channel, and please tell your friends about Mino too. So bye for now, and see you all soon.